Although you may have chosen your string material, you're not done yet. To complete the string, you need serving, and serving material has its own nuances to understand. The primary purpose of serving is to provide a layer of protection to the string. Without it, the string is exposed to wear and tear, and will quickly fray and eventually break. The string is particularly vulnerable to abrasions from surface contact. The edges of the limb tip will wear down the string, and the string will contact the groove just below the limb tip when shot. Thus, these areas of the end loops need to be covered with serving. Serving is also placed on the center of the string to provide a place for the arrow to be nocked. Nocks cannot sit on the bare string and will quickly cause tears. The center serving is extended so that it covers the forearm area, protecting the string against arm slaps. Putting the serving on is the time-consuming part of the string making process. Care needs to be taken to ensure that the serving is tightly wrapped and is smooth and consistent with no loose ends. Serving requires a spool of serving thread and a serving jig. The jig is unscrewed and the spool is loaded into the jig. The serving is threaded through this tiny hole. The base of the jig has this groove, which sits over the string, allowing you to spin the jig around the string to apply the serving. Although serving may be made from similar materials to what strings are made from, the construction of the string is quite different. The serving thread is designed so that it has a good grip on the string, so it doesn't slip off. Other properties include durability and smoothness, which is quite important for the center serving in terms of having a smooth release. This is where things get slightly confusing. Some archers will prefer to use different serving materials for the center serving and for the end loops. For example, the moderately priced BCY Halo is actually quite smooth, so this makes it quite popular as a choice for center servings. Likewise, for the end loops, something like BCY 2X is popular because of its durability and abrasion resistance. Something else to consider is thickness. Serving threads come in several diameters. For the end loops, a thicker diameter is usually preferred, mostly because of the extra durability. For the center serving, thinner strands are preferred, partly because of weight, but mostly because it depends on the size of your nocks. The nocks need a snug fit on the string, but shouldn't be so tight that you can't get it off. If it's too thin, the string simply slips off. If it's too thick, the knock kind of sticks to the string. This makes it quite hard to get a good clean release. If you have smaller nocks, err on the side of using thinner serving. Now, if your serving is too thin, you can always thicken it by adding something like dental floss for extra padding, or you may even choose to add a second layer of serving material to make it thicker. Whereas, if you have a serving that's too thick, then you can't really make it thinner. Also bear in mind that the thickness of the string is also determined by the material you use and the number of strands you use. This might sound complicated, and honestly, this is probably more for the advanced archers or for the advanced string makers. Many people do mix and match their materials based on their needs and preferences and through trial and error. Now, if you're new to this, there's nothing wrong with just getting one spool of serving thread and using it for everything. Some materials are designed to be suitable for both roles. Angel Majesty is generally seen as one of the best materials for center servings and end loops, but it's also a bit costlier than other materials. For the budget conscious, you might want to go for something like BCY 62XS. I know this one is important to many people. Yes, you can choose from a variety of colors. Most of the high performance serving materials like Angel Majesty only come in black and maybe white, but the mid-range materials like 62XS or BCY Halo do come in a selection of colors. To sum this video up, it's okay to use one string material for most of your purposes. Pick one that you can afford to chew through and practice with. You probably won't notice too much of a difference. As you become more experienced, Start experimenting with different materials to see if you prefer the feel of one over another. If you've been making your own strings, I'd be interested in hearing what works for you. Please post them in the comments below. This is NUSensei. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.